everybody. Welcome into Perspectives, and boy, are we going to roll your socks up and down today. My first guest is Kendall Taylor, CEO of Metro Tulsa Women on Fire.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
It's so good to have you here. You're a member of the Tulsa Fire Department.
Yes, sir.
You do the what? The washing and the cooking and
Yeah.
yeah.
Cleaning, laundry,
Uh-huh.
you know, typical woman duties.
Truth be known, you were a police officer first, then made the switch to the fire department. You guys are hitting the ground running into danger. And I don't know of anybody that's ever said, Sam, we have women on the fire department.
Well, honestly, there are still a lot of people that are really surprised by that. And especially when they see us out in the community, there's still some shock behind it because there's not very many of us. There's only, I think 9% in the US are firefighters and only 5% are career. So female firefighters.
Yeah.
So it's a really small number still.
Well, we have race car drivers, so it's about time.
It is time.
What tweaked your interest? What caused you to make the switch?
Honestly, I left law enforcement to stay home with my son when I had him, and I was an instructor out at a challenge course in Tulsa, and a lot of the other instructors were Tulsa firefighters, and there happened to be a few that said, hey, you'd be really good at this. We need women on the job. And within I guess 6 months probably, I started EMT school and went through the process and fell in love with it, and here I am 8 years later.
Well, clearly, I wouldn't take you on in a fist fight. I mean, I wouldn't dare. It strikes me that it's one of those, it's not borderline, it is flat out sexist that we think of firefighters as men.
I agree.
And yet, women all over the country are clamoring to get in, aren't they?
They are, and I think a lot of them, they don't realize that this is an opportunity for them because just like you said, I didn't start this career until I was 32. So and I was in law enforcement and I still never really had that opportunity brought in front of me because I don't have family in any kind of law enforcement or fire. So it was a new suggestion to me in my 30s.
You have a sleep disorder yet?
I think all of us have a sleep disorder. I don't know if you can be in firefighting and not have a sleep disorder.
Waiting for the bell to go off.
Yeah.
Many years ago, Walter Cronkite worked in this part of the country and did play-by-play football for TU for a brief period.
I had no idea.
And he, in one of his last interviews, as he was leaving the network, talked about his early days. He got hooked on sirens. When he heard a siren, he had to stand up and look. Had to know what was going on. And that led to him, of all things, breaking into journalism. I'd be curious to know if you're holding workshops now, what are they about? What are you doing in those workshops?
So there's a girls firefighter camp that was started in Tulsa about 11 years ago, and it was ran by all the female firefighters at Tulsa. I wasn't around that long ago, so it was started from some trailblazing women that I like to call mentors. And I kind of fell into that about 6 or 7 years ago. I was helping them with it. My co-founder and I actually went through a girls firefighting camp out in Choctaw, Oklahoma, before we got hired on. So we went through the camp together, we got hired on together, and now we run this organization and our girls camp together. So after COVID, nobody really picked it up in the Tulsa area. So our organization decided that it was important that we continue with it. So we picked it up and we've had it 3 years now. This October will be our 4th that we've ran it. And it's just important to give girls the vision that it's a possibility for them in a comfortable environment. Surrounded by other strong female firefighters, because it's ran by about 90% female firefighters in Northeast
You're also
Oklahoma.
a driver, are you not?
I am a firefighter, but we work up a rank at Tulsa. So if the captain's gone, our driver will ride out as captain, and then the firefighter drives. So I get to drive the truck, and it's a lot of fun.
You know what I'd give to drive a fire truck? I think that's so cool.
I went from a tiny Toyota Corolla to driving one of the largest trucks in the city, downtown.
Holy
So
Toledo.
it was definitely a learning experience.
What do you look for the June 14th event?
So this will be the first time that we have done this event. It's called Fierce Future. So all of our events are for girls ages 16 and up. This event will be located at Broken Arrow Fire Training Center. So they're in Broken Arrow, their fire department is hosting for us, and they are super excited to have us. This event is just a one-day seminar, and it's for girls that have already kind of decided this is the route they want to go, and this is the career that they want. So this seminar will give them kind of an insight into what the CPAT is, which is the physical agility test. We're going to give them some exercises and some workouts to help them prepare for that, because it is a difficult test. We're getting a packet from probably 30 fire departments locally with what their hiring processes are. So these girls are going to leave with a bindered packet on every department in the area to help them know what they need to do. We're going to go over background investigation stuff, interviews, what their resume needs to look like, and just kind of stuff like that. It's the more technical side of our kind of project with camp.
Pull back the curtain, in other words. It's an interesting thing to me to know that we're finally seeing barriers broken, and you're a part of that.
I am.
Does it ever come crashing through that you're throwing up the curtain?
I think we're bigger than what we really recognize at this point, because we have reached so many places. I'm speaking at an event in Georgia in June, and I never would have thought that I would have been asked to do that.
Pretty amazing, isn't it?
It is. It's really exciting.
One more time, when is the event?
It is June 14th in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, and the registration, I'm sure all the information will be posted, but we've got a Facebook page. Our website is tulsametrowomenonfire.org, and all the information is on there. We're only allowing about 30 spots, and we've got about half of that taken.
Thank you so very much
Thank you for having me.
I'm tickled to death to get you here. Come back, will you?
I will if you'll have me.
Oh, anytime. Thank you, dear.